My name is Shanita Vasquez. I'm the Diversity Outreach Coordinator for the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission. At the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, our mission is to reduce traffic-related crashes that are resulting in serious injuries or deaths by changing driver behavior. And by doing that, that's a big mission. So we have amazing partners around Louisiana that help us try to complete that mission. And one of those partners is Louisiana State Police.
Yes, thank you.
We are highlighting leaders in our state who reflect the best part of public service. So that is you guys for this series. Please, for everyone, state your name, your agency, and your position.
Hi, I'm Lamar Davis. I am the Colonel of Louisiana State Police and the Deputy Secretary of Department of Public Safety.
Tell me a little bit about your profession.
First of all, it's very diverse. My profession is simply keeping the community safe, keeping the highways and byways safe, and that's just the gist of it. However, we have a very complex way of doing that. We serve the community in many different ways. Part of, and which is our main mission, is to keep our highways safe through enforcement, education, and outreach. But equally as important is homeland security and some of the other parts of our mission, which requires us to go in a different direction.
How long have you been in your field?
Now I'm telling my age. I've been in this field for over 25 years now.
Wow. And have you enjoyed the 25 years?
You know, this has been the most rewarding career that I've ever could have had. I've always heard the saying that you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you do, and I have not worked a day in my life.
Growing up, did you always want to be in this particular field?
Oh, no. Not in law enforcement. What I found at a young age is that I enjoyed service to others, giving to others, and it started with maybe in the neighborhood, maybe doing something to help a senior citizen, and not realizing that was service to others. It just made me feel good that they felt good. So service to others is what I really enjoy.
That's great. So although it's not something that you thought of growing up, but it is something that you've always had kind of a passion for since you were younger.
Most definitely.
That's great. How important is it to you to have diverse representation in your field? So I can only imagine growing up, like trying to figure out what you want to do. Representation probably was something that you looked for.
Yes, it's very important. You know, I look at diversity as value added. And when we look at people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different races, from different sexes, they all bring a unique perspective. And as we look at that, that helps us all grow. It's that knowledge, that perspective, that information that we gain from them that adds value to who we are. That helps us all grow.
Right. Tell me, what does transportation safety mean to you?
Well, it's simple to me. It's keeping people alive on our highways and byways. Whether it be through seatbelt use, whether it be through regulation, enforcement, it's about keeping people safe.
How important is diverse representation in transportation safety?
Well, it's equally as important. You know, we serve a very diverse community, and that community looks to us in order to ensure that we're providing the best product that we can provide for them. So in order for them to feel comfortable to help us, and this is our mission, but it's also in conjunction with the citizens in which we serve. They have an equal responsibility, an equal stake at remaining safe and contributing to remaining safe. In order for that to occur, then they must feel comfortable with the people in which that are serving them, and that's important. So as they look to us to help them, then it must be someone that they're comfortable with. And seeing someone that maybe look like you, maybe have a perspective that you have, makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel that you're contributing more. So it's very important to have a diversity, whether it be in our agency or in our community.
So speaking about diversity, you know, Louisiana is a whole melting pot. We're a big old gumbo pot full of people around everywhere. What positive impact do you think transportation safety has made on Louisiana?
Well, while we still have a lot of things that we can improve upon, the three main factors that are important for me is through our education. You know, outreach and education really informs people as to how we can remain safe, but also through our enforcement. Oftentimes, we have some people that make bad decisions, and Sometimes it takes that enforcement action in order to correct that bad behavior. But also through our engagement, our interaction, every time that we interact with someone in the public, then that makes a positive, or it gives us the ability to have a positive interaction and also educate them. So it's through those methods that we feel that highway safety is important.
Great. So I think, because I travel all around Louisiana all the time, and I see different things, on the highways through transportation, whether it's sometimes distracted driving, people wearing seatbelts, not wearing their seatbelts, pedestrians, we have a lot of pedestrians on the roadways around there. So hearing that type of outlook of what you and your agency thinks about transportation safety is refreshing to know that you guys are committed to that as well.
Yes.
In your opinion, how do you think transportation safety affects the African American community?
Well, here's the funny thing. We look at it from that perspective, but transportation safety affects all of our communities. African American, white American, Indian American, it affects all of our communities. And to be frank with you, it doesn't discriminate based upon your race, based upon your age, based upon your sex, or any of that. If you're participating in bad behavior, if you are being a distracted driver, then you're going to suffer the consequences. And sometimes those consequences can be fatal. So while it's important to the African American community, it's important to all of our communities, because when you're on the road with all of our communities.
Correct. That's a good way to look at it. So, okay, well, I know different people grow up different ways. Everyone has different experiences and different family members. Growing up, what is something that you witnessed regarding transportation safety that was commonplace within the African American community or within your community, but they may not have been particularly safe? And what are you doing to try to combat that?
Well, the two things that I remember most in growing up in my community that impacted highway safety was really seatbelt use. That was something that was very difficult. It wasn't commonplace. The second thing was distracted driving. Although we did not have cell phone usage at that particular point in time, there was the driver that was distracted by passengers and distracted by other things. So those were the things that really impacted me growing up. As far as I'm concerned now in my agency, we work extremely hard to educate drivers on what it means to be a very conscious driver, but also not to be distracted and to wear that seatbelt, because that ultimately saves your life.
Correct. Okay. Do you think what you do is positively impacting Louisiana road users and citizens in general? If so, why?
Most definitely. When you look at highway safety, oftentimes we look at the side that most people do not like to hear, the amount of fatalities and deaths and injuries. However, without the education, without the enforcement, without that engagement, then it would be a lot higher. Mm-hmm. So there are times where we can point to where our troopers and our men and women of our agencies and highway safety partners can look to say, hey, we've done something positive. But oftentimes, without that education, we can often see in other states and other locations where the death toll is higher, the crash rate is higher, the injury rate is higher. So it makes me believe, and I truly believe, that we are doing the right thing, we're on the right road, and we're doing something that benefits our citizens.
Oh, yes, most definitely. And I think what's important is one person at a time. Just to have that one person to buckle up or not drive impaired or don't be distracted, that helps, that saves multiple people's lives.
That's correct.
What direction do you or your agency have for transportation safety?
Simple. We're going to continue to try to impact lives for the better. And we're going to do that through enforcement, but compassionate enforcement. It does not require that a ticket be written for every particular incident. However, we're going to do whatever it takes to change that behavior. Mm-hmm. And if that means that we need to educate more, we'll educate more. If it means we need to enforce more, then we'll do that. But we want to save lives. So we're going to do it in a compassionate way to make sure that everybody realizes the importance of their life.
I think that's really good for people to know, because everyone who does an infraction may not necessarily warrant a citation, but corrective measures do need to be taken, and you guys are more than willing to do that. So that's good. If you can give any advice or words of wisdom, what would it be?
First of all, for every person out there, believe in yourself. That's vitally important because that shows that you value your worth. But two, I tell everybody that you're the best advocate that you have. Okay, you serve as an advocate by everything that you do. So when you serve or when you do something, you do it with integrity, you do it with honor, you do it with honesty. For those young people out there, I like to tell them, continue to work hard. Anything that's worth giving or worth having is worth working for. Continue to work hard, and an abundance of great things will continue to come.
That's really good. That's really impactful, and I hope people take that and apply that, because you need to work hard in order to get places. Everything is not just handed to you.
That's correct.
So, I just want to thank you so much for taking out the time to do this interview with us, and just so that we can highlight you and how you impact the transportation safety world. Your partnership is greatly appreciated. All the troopers that help out, that one traffic stop, or educating the public on diverse emphasis areas within the traffic safety, that really helps.
Thank you. We're one team. Highway safety is all about teamwork, and that's law enforcement, that's highway safety partners, that's the public. One team, one fight.
Yes, I like that. One team, one fight.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.